Just about to be welcoming New Year, so pulling in a New Year's harvest right in the middle of the cornfield. Haven't done a video in a while, so I figured I'd shoot. So we ended up pulling in some corn, sweet corn for this time. We had to pull it in because we had some rat problems. That's one of the problems that we have out here is pest and vermin type problems. So it's been pretty good. We're gonna go take a look at our tomato and Sili I have growing. I know I haven't updated the videos in like 2 months. Well, we realized that October, November, December, much like the rest of the world, you are in remission where you're not planting, you're just prepping. So it's a lot of farm prep and whatnot. So it's been pretty good. And we just turned over our mini greenhouse to another tomato crop. And we turned over our bags to Sili, and we'll have some room to do another thing is Sili. So we're just gonna kind of figure it out what it is. But these are the ones we're kind of sticking with right now, just because they provide the best return on investment. So here is our tomatoes. This is probably about 21 days, and it actually looks really good for 21 days. Well, probably in another week or so, we already have some flowering. Probably in another week, we'll actually be able to start some of the bigger trellis things. It's getting close. That's mainly where you're going to start ripping off these guys and then pruning up the bottom to keep it low. But it actually was really good considering we haven't been out here that much and it's been kind of remote. I was busy finishing up school, and Christmas time always seems to get that busy. But this time we decided, instead of a plastic mulch, we just keep the ground barren, so you're going to see a lot of pull up. We just found that it works really good for that. And of course now we brought the rain. It's been raining like crazy here, so I'm just mainly checking for any type of curl, any curly. This could be mites right there. So we always historically have mite issues on the farm, and that's one of the reasons we turned over a lot of our crops to let it rest for a couple of months and then just keep nursery things. But these guys are looking really good. They're about 3 feet tall most part, and then the rest are about like 1 foot to 2 foot tall. So it's been really good, and I'm starting to see some good flowering. If you remember our first time last year we did this is the Diamante or the Avatar. I think I can't remember which one we're growing with. So we have a nice improved trellis system that can hopefully maintain all the weight for these guys, because last time we only had 1 row of tomatoes and it snapped the thing. So it looks like we've doubled it up with I think a number 12 tie wire. I don't know what that would be equivalently. I think tie wire, GI wire is all about the same globally. So we did a number 12. So it's a little thicker, about the size of like a number 2 pencil, I would say. So it's kind of unwieldy to work with, but it works really good. So I'm really impressed with a lot of this. The greenage looks really nice. We did 18-inch or 45 centimeter space planting, and we just did staggered, and we're just doing 1 main trellis line, and we're just going to clip and prune all the way up. One of our guys actually worked on a tomato farm, so he has a lot of knowledge, so I won't have to micromanage this as much as before because we're just learning it. So it's nice to have somebody who can actually take over some of the tomato maintenance requirements, like know when to pull off suckers, know how to prune up the bottom to get airflow, because tomatoes, they get really influenced by airflow, and you want to have as much airflow as you can through your crop. So this allows us to plant them a little bit denser. And last time we pulled in like 300 kilos with like just 1 row, and this is now 6 rows of tomatoes. But if you times it by the weight, it's obscene how much weight's going to be on these. So again, we'll try a little bit of updated method, but I like this trellising method the best because I'm able to walk through it. We decided 3 rows is perfect, about 1 meter between rows, so it should be pretty good. And you'll see as we progress through, as we trellis everything up, it's going to work really nice. So I'm really, as you can tell, I'm like super excited about tomatoes, because last year was just amazing. Now we don't have the netting because I like that we are near a bee farm. I've seen in videos past, one of the best things I think our success, other than just having a really good nutrition plan and everything else. We're near a bee farm, and last time there's just so many flowers and so many bees. You'd be in there doing maintenance and the bee would be like excited, got like zzz, right next to it. So you know, the sound of a bee fertilizing a flower and just getting that pollen was really good into that sense. So now let's go take a look over here and walk towards the Sili. We'll see how they're doing. And from the pictures, they looked really good. And again, most of these crops are like only 21 days since we transplanted, if that. So this might be the first week where they're getting about 3 weeks old. So we've been doing pretty good. The fertigation has been really easy for this size of crops, and I really like what we're able to do with that. So let's go take a look at greenhouse 3. This is our more economical way to plant. We decided to go with Sili, and I think I kind of nailed down. Ooh, we got gravel finally. So the guys have been really busy. So look at this gravel. They listened to my ideas finally. Again, I've been really cheap. A little bit of pea gravel in the part where I said, like, it just gets so much water, and just adding a little bit of pea gravel in between really helps just keep that moisture and whatnot down. So this is what you can do in your greenhouse. It's really cheap to get. So it's good to see that. And we're probably going to start doing it for other parts, but wherever you walk, I really recommend this, and it helps with your foot bath. So then you're not carrying a bunch of dirt into each foot bath, which is what I get now. Now these pictures looked really good when I got them, and it does not disappoint. These are amazing, and I'm really impressed. So I'm impressed as how they're looking, how they're growing. So I'm gonna be able to hit them a little bit harder with my fertigation. I've been kind of babying them every other day. But peppers, one of those things, like I said in our videos past, especially hot peppers, you can hit it with like a 4 EC in the peak season, and it will just eat all of that nutrient that you provided. Because the only thing that we did with these bags is we just topped them off, and then we put them in there. Again, I'm not ready to disclose all of it because it's still kind of a lot of testing. But so these are 3-week-old plants, and just the greenness that you see in it is amazing. Very little pest. And again, this is one where we had our cucumbers, and I don't know if I finished up a wrap up, but you can see some of them were probably transplanted a little bit smaller, or some got a little bit leggier, and that's when you see them really extend. But I don't see anything crazy, because you're trying to keep your plants at a constant growth rate so that you don't burn out. Here's your stereotypical sign for mite right in here. So this is what mites look like, and what they do is they just eat this. Now the good thing is your plant's already very small, so it's going to already try to protect itself. The problem with mite is that it'll keep hitting it and it'll spread. So one of those big things. Here's a sign of mite right here. So if you have one sign of mite, you're gonna have other signs of mite. So I'm gonna go have the guys treat for mites, and I see another row over there. And it'll just continue on and on and on. And that's very common with enclosed spaces like this. But one thing I did is I updated the net so that it's able to actually keep it cooler. And right now we're in a cool part of our season, so we shouldn't have as much issues. But what we've noticed in every greenhouse that's been fully enclosed, it gets immediately attacked with mites. So it's just one of those things of checking. But other than that, the guys are doing really good. I'm gonna go measure the bags out and kind of record that. You guys see me messing around with some of my tools, but these are looking really good. And our purpose of this is that we have about 840 bags, so 840 plants. And when I did my testing with mini greenhouse, we got 300 days of production. Now I know it's a pepper plant. Theoretically, you can get annual production, perennial, whatever it is. So I don't always memorize the terms, but a pepper plant, you can literally just keep growing year after year and get moderately good success to that. So what we're looking for is trying to keep that health rate. And we were pulling out with about 230 plants, pulling out about 80 liters of Sili. So overall, it looks really good, and we didn't do much to the bags. So it was able to reuse the bags. So we only had to pay for the cost of one set of bags. It tried Atzel, that didn't work out. Then we switched it to cucumber. That worked out really good, but cucumber was bad for bags because it doesn't last long. And then now we're into Sili with bags, which allows us to hit it really, really good. And again, it's been about a month probably since we've been back up here. Just got swamped with everything else. But yeah, it looks like we'll just have to treat with mites and do a little bit of cutting. I'm gonna go kind of instruct with that and make some choices. But overall, this looks really good. But yeah, again, you see just a little bit of mite right there. A little bit over there. But the good thing about pepper, you can just top them and then they'll just come right back and just shoot more. So we'll see that. Let me pause the video. All right, so I did a quick farm tour, stopped, did a little bit of talk, a little strategy talking. I'm not gonna reveal everything yet, plus probably don't want all my information because it's been tough, but right now everything looks really good for our greenhouses. Did a fertigation check. It wasn't a backflow issue. It just probably missed me. So now that I'm back, everything looks good with the fertigation system and whatnot. So I got to replace a couple inline valves, not too hard, easy fix. And then we're gonna plant out greenhouse 2 since we have enough leftover extra seedlings of tomato and a little bit of Sili. I mean, like knock on wood, we didn't experience any transplant loss and very minimal, like 2 plants in both greenhouses. So this is normally the time of year that we have really good success planting. We're a good initial success, and then we go to total failure later because we had some bad crops back to back to back. So overall, I'm going to do a couple other checks and whatnot for the day, but it's a pretty short day right before the New Year's. Just wanted to get a video out there and kind of show what's been going on at the farm. I've been doing a little bit of things, but hopefully I heard rumors we're going to finally get greenhouse 3 built and then possibly greenhouse 4, but I'm looking to plant into these fields over there as we swap out our corn that we grew. So we did end up pulling a great New Year's harvest for corn, about 9 crates. So about maybe 500 square meters. So nothing to write home about. Again, we're pretty small time farmers, but it did really good and they looked really nice for minimal fertilization, minimal use of pesticides or anything else like that. So we're trying to really minimalize what we can, use a lot of natural things. So it's been working pretty good, but I don't have too much because there's not a lot of stuff to really go over in the video, other than we'll check back in probably about a week or so, and we'll see when we start getting into some of the maintenance phases. We have a little bit of mite in greenhouse 1, but one thing I recommend with like your greenhouse is you put a black shade net, about a 70% shade net. I can show that as we walk over here, walk over to this one. You can watch my face. We'll go this way. So in the nursery, we covered it with a shade net, and we do about a 70% shade net just because our heat can be rather intense, but it's been super rainy. If you peek in here, you can see how green, that's our Sili, and then those are our tomato plants. So they're super green. So we've just been doing a simple Peter's 30-10-10, just a little bit of spray once a week, and it's been really, really good to keep them green and fresh. So good enough that we don't have to replace any losses in our field. We're already on week 3, so it's already come to point of no return for anything. Losses are going to be losses. No need to replace them, but we're going to plant out greenhouse 2. So we might have another super secret project going on for greenhouse 2, but I think we're just going to do tomatoes, and then greenhouse 3 and 4 will be another project. But overall, it's been good. I'm really excited to see this. I'm really excited that we're hitting the nutrient level for that, and I'm taking notes. I'm not revealing anything yet of what I'm doing for a greenhouse 3 that's a little bit different. So I have some good notes of how I'm feeding it and how we're treating it, and it just looks really nice. They're super green. They're doing good. A little bit of mite, again, that's your big issue with enclosed spaces. So if you have a way to roll down the side net and let some natural air in there, it helps. If you don't have that like we do, you just put shade net on the top. And right now during this time of the year, it's just a super rainy time of the year. So easy fix right there. We have some durian flower buds and some rambutan. We actually have a nice durian in there. been super sweet, but we're gonna treat with some sea salt. Sea salt's one of the best things. If you can't do that, sea water, you can mix different parts. But sea salt you put on the ground, and then we're gonna do a little sea salt mixture or Epsom salt, and then we're gonna do some fertilization and start pruning up these trees. But they've been looking really good, so we're just now gonna do some further maintenance. So it's been really nice, really nice, really looking good. It's starting to become like a farm again, and it's been tough. But I'm really excited for the tomatoes. I can't really stress how awesome these tomatoes look. And these are completely outdoor. There's no side net, there's nothing. I see a little bit of leaf miner, no mites yet, hopefully, and we're starting to get some nice flowering. So we're about ready to switch up our nutrition program for that. But this has been great. With everything, I wish everybody a happy new year.